Welcome to this video on the American refugee paradox. We will explore why domestic survivors of covert abuse fall through the cracks of international asylum and municipal protections. We begin by defining asylum, tracing its journey from a concept of safe haven to a core international legal doctrine and its role in modern border law. There are two main pathways to refugee protection. Affirmative asylum is a proactive, interview-led screening process for individuals already in the U.S. and not facing removal. Defensive asylum is used as a legal shield during removal proceedings, requiring argument against imminent deportation. Defensive asylum requires applicants to meet a significant burden of proof. This includes demonstrating a credible fear, establishing a legal nexus to one of 5 protected grounds, and meeting the paper trail standard with verifiable evidence of persecution. The 5 core grounds of persecution are race and nationality, religion and spirituality, political opinion, and membership in a particular social group. These categories define the legally protected basis for an asylum claim. Next, we address the born citizen paradox. This section analyzes the profound systemic gap where domestic citizens suffer identical harms but face legal insulation, unlike asylum seekers. Asylum is defined as an international mechanism requiring the crossing of a sovereign border. Therefore, a born citizen cannot seek asylum from their own government on domestic soil. They must rely on domestic courts, which creates the paradox of American refugees with no international recourse. Born citizens can face covert persecution, including systemic discrimination through covert colorism, abuse of authority using digital surveillance, and identity exclusion resulting in severe social and psychological penalties. This covert persecution leads us into the domestic judicial maze. We examine how systemic legal doctrines shift from protecting citizen rights to insulating municipal systems from liability. Comparing asylum seekers and domestic citizens reveals disparities. Domestic citizens rely on civil rights lawsuits, face an active defendant, judge, and jury, and encounter procedural barriers like qualified immunity, leading to massive litigation costs. The shield of sovereign power, qualified immunity, was established by the Supreme Court in 1982. It makes public officials immune from damages unless they violate a, quote, clearly established right. For covert abuses, this requires finding a past case with identical facts, creating a nearly impossible barrier. The core issue is the conflict of sovereign accountability. The state cannot act as a neutral arbiter of justice when its own treasury, institutions, and agents are the accused. The American refugee paradox suggests a need for structural transparency, statutory changes to qualified immunity, and equal protection for born citizens. In summary, asylum is an international mechanism with 2 pathways. Born citizens must use domestic courts, facing the American refugee paradox. Qualified immunity, established in 1982, shields officials from liability for non-physical, covert persecution. These are the sources for the images used throughout the video. Thank you for watching this video on the American refugee paradox. We hope this has provided valuable insight into these complex issues.